SMT Nation, we back. I have concerns. I have major concerns about mobile network. I had mobile networks from Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. Less so about Dish because they don't really have the traffic on their network, but I am concerned after I read an article like this. So allow me to present this for you, kind of give you guys, lay out the groundwork and the facts. Then I want to give you guys my take. All right, social media video streaming propels mobile data growth, according to Ericsson's mobility report. Linda Hardesty, November 30th, the time of this recording. All right, young people love their TikTok dance videos, don't they? Seems harmless. We've got TikTok, we got Instagram, we got Facebook, all these social media platforms. And then let's go ahead and throw in things like video on demand, streaming, movies, TV shows, all those things like Netflix and HBO Max and Disney Plus, especially in North America when your carriers like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile all offer you some kind of a free streaming service, or it's included in the bundle of your plan. According to this, it's causing a huge spike and a continued, consistent increased amount of data traffic on the network due to that video consumption. Just in the last 2 years, the usage has gone from 55 exabytes per month in Q3 2022 to 108 exabytes per month in Q3 2022. So in the last 2 years, that number has doubled. Also, sequentially, the data traffic has increased 7% between Q2 of this year and Q3 of this year. All right, so if your quarterly increases are 7% of data usage and your biannual increase is double, you have problems. Are the carriers going to be able to keep up with demand? Are they going to be able to provide a capacitive, zippy, quick, efficient mobile experience when you have all the users and you got all this consumption of data? Because here's what's happening, folks, and this is something I've spoken to before. T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T, each of them doing different things. Each of them has different segments of their business that they're focusing on. Verizon has fixed wireless access on their mobile network, right? So they've got home internet users and they have mobile network users, traditional wireless. AT&T doesn't have AT&T doesn't have any fixed wireless access on its network, right? So they're a little bit different, but they are growing. They have huge promotions. They gain lots of customers, right? So they've got that to deal with. T-Mobile has fixed wireless access home internet users, plus they grow on the mobile side, right? So they've got all these things. They got all these hotspots. They've got free lines, right? And then they started doing this T-Mobile Home Internet Lite, right? Everywhere, available to anyone. I mean, there's a lot of growth of usage on the network. So here's what's happening. Over the long term, traffic growth is driven by two things, folks. A rising number of smartphone subscriptions. So that's the mobile user base. So we're getting more smartphones on networks, right? Younger people that are coming of age to get a phone, more people using phones, okay? And more markets, right? Emerging markets getting access to smartphones. And then also increasing average data volume per subscription. The average person used to use 2 gigs of data a month. Then they start using 4 and 8, and now we're at 12 and 15, and we're probably approaching 20 gigs of data by the next quarter. The average person is using more data on their network. So with massive amounts of growth in the mobile data segment, mostly coming from video consumption, whether it's on-demand streaming services, movies, shows, TikTok, whatever, are the networks going to be able to keep up? Right? We're talking about huge amounts of data. Now here's who's using and what they're using, right? Okay, so here's Asia, for example. You see a little bit of YouTube. You see a lot of TikTok. You see a ton of Facebook, right? So there's your breakdown there. All right. If you look at these European operators, they're a little bit different. They have the YouTube, right? They've got Facebook, they've got Instagram, they've got TikTok, they've got those things, but they also have Netflix and they also have HBO Max. And then you got those percentages laid out. So if you look at the European operators that they had in the study, that's kind of the distribution in Europe. Here's North America. the North American operator in the study. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, right? A little bit of Netflix, a little bit of Disney Plus, right? Each operator is different based on, what their consumers are doing with the network. But when you think about what T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T are now embarking on, right, with the average user's usage increasing and an increased number of users due to growth, like this is going to be nuts. How are you going to keep up with this? I think it calls back to a couple of things, folks. Small cells are going to be imperative. You're going to have CRAN in small cells. You're going to have DAS systems, and you are going to have millimeter wave. If you're going to be putting people hanging out in places and waiting on buses and trains, and you're going to have people in these well-developed cities chomping up, chewing up all these gigs of data while they're watching shows and movies and TikToks and twerking and thongs and all the stuff that's going on in all these apps, right? These seemingly harmless videos are putting a strain on networks. And yes, I understand. Most of the time, those videos are probably 480p and 720p. It doesn't matter when you've got thousands of people's on, on a sector, on a tower site. Millimeter wave is going to be a must, right? People are live streaming. People are sending videos. They're uploading videos. They're downloading videos on demand. Stuff is live. It's all content. 70% of the data traffic on networks now is video. That number is probably going to be approaching 80% pretty soon. It's just a lot of bandwidth required, a lot of capacity and throughput required. Now, look, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying you're going to need all the solutions you can get. You are going to need high capacity fiber running to these tower sites, to these macros, these rooftops, these monopoles, right? 10 gig fiber and better, right? If we start talking about 2030, we're talking about like 6-7 years down the line, and millimeter wave is going to be a must. I like Verizon's chances because they're really embracing the grind in densifying and doing small cells and millimeter wave. AT&T's in the catbird seat because they are going to own and operate 75% of the fiber to their tower sites, right? Verizon is going to have 50% of their tower sites with one fiber. I have really strong concerns about the T-Mobile network if they don't get their CRAN network going soon, and if they don't start deploying millimeter wave and leveraging those assets. They have millimeter wave spectrum. They have to deploy it. They've got all this spectrum. They need to get small cells going. They have to start splitting cells, offloading data traffic off of their macros and adding more sites. It's just, this report tells you the direction of things and what's to come. You have to proactively build capacity. You really don't want to get punched in the mouth with congested sites. That's when customers churn. That's when customers leave. That's when they start looking for other options. Again, I feel confident that Verizon's going to find a way with all their millimeter wave and their C-band and their small cells and CRAN and all that. I think AT&T, because they don't have fixed wireless, it makes their life a little bit easier, and they're a fiber owner, right? Verizon's also a fiber owner. T-Mobile is the one that I have concerns about because of all the fixed wireless access, a lack of commitment to small cells and densification, and not owning their fiber, right? Now, it doesn't mean that they can't change that in the future. I'm just looking at it today. They're not really fit to support this kind of growth when you think about the home internet as well. So that's where my concerns lay. All of them are going to have to work really hard to keep the network strong, but these are the pressures they're going to be dealing with. What do you guys think? Who do you think stands the best chance to keep up with the demand? Who do you think is going to struggle the most? And tell me why. Love to hear what you guys have to say on this. You all the voice of the people of the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more, and turn on that bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Big shout out to the patrons. Thanks for all your support. You guys are the greatest. Y'all the goats. The YouTube members as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting also. If you guys are interested in those things, there's links in the description to support us there at those platforms. And again, like, share, and subscribe if you want to help out the channel. That's plenty good. Thank you so much. And I'll leave you with these words of positivity as we exit the video. Every new day is an opportunity to be great. Go out there and be great. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.